EquiTalks is presented by Equilyst Analytics Incorporated. Check out our website at www.equilyst.com. Would you like to know if you should buy, hold, or sell a stock? JC De Guzman, founder, CEO, and Chief Technical Analyst of Equilyst Analytics, will share with you his technical analysis, overall sentiment, and trade setup for one stock every day. Would you like to be an independent trader and a profitable investor? You'll learn how to be one right here on the EquiTalks.
Welcome back to our EquiTalks program. I'm your host, JC De Guzman. We are now on the 12th episode. A few days ago, I asked in our Facebook group if some of the members would want to post a request on which particular stock they would want me to talk about in these episodes. So one of the members requested if I could discuss one or two stocks that could be, directly or indirectly affected by the election season. Well, there's one specific sector that I have in mind when it comes to the election season, and that's the media sector. And we know we have two media stocks. We have GMA7 and ABS-CBN Corporation, or ABS for the stock code. So I'll just be talking about one. Let's see if I could talk about the other one on the 13th or on the next episode. So for the 12th episode, I'd like to discuss ABS, or ABS-CBN Corporation. Before we take a look at the chart of ABS, let's take a peep onto the dividend announcements. Does it have one? It had one, but it's done already. The ex-dividend date was last March 11, 2019. It was for 55 centavos worth of cash dividend. So on March 26, you should have your cash dividend in your portfolio if you had ABS-CBN shares that were qualified for this cash dividend. If on March 27th you still don't have the cash dividend, you should contact then your online stockbroker. Now for those, let's say we are seeing a future date for the ex-dividend date. For the new subscribers, for the new listeners, some of you might want to ask, Sir, how should I know if I am entitled to the dividend, regardless of what type of a dividend? Okay, I'm going to give you the on, before, and after scenario, regardless if you are buying or selling. Okay, let's start with the buying side. If you're going to buy a dividend issuing company before the ex-dividend date and you're going to hold those shares until the ex-dividend date at least, then those shares will receive the dividend. However, if you're going to buy shares of a dividend issuing company either on or after the ex-dividend date, then I'm sorry, you will not receive dividends. Now let's go to the selling side. If you're going to sell the shares of a dividend issuing company before the ex-dividend date, you will not receive dividends for those shares that you've sold. Meanwhile, if you're going to sell shares of that dividend issuing company either on or after the ex-dividend date, then those shares are qualified for that dividend. Just keep on replaying that part so you would get the idea. Okay, now let's take a look at the chart of ABS. I am using the trading view chart, and as of recess, ABS closed at 20 pesos and 60 centavos. And the immediate support is at 19.32, while the immediate resistance is at 21.95. Unfortunately, ABS-CBN is bearish both in the short-term and long-term scales. Why? What made me say that? What did I see on the chart? Well, do you see the stock price moving below the green line, which is the 10 SMA, and the blue line, which is the 200-day SMA, hovering the shorter term moving averages? The position of the stock price alone below the moving averages is already an indication that the stock is in a bearish channel. Plus, the position of the longer term moving averages above the shorter term moving averages is another, not only an indication but a confirmation that the stock is indeed moving inside the bearish territory, both in the short term and long term scales or time periods. Where should ABS-CBN be for it to regain its position, let's say, above the 200-day moving averages? Of course, that means I would prefer to see ABS-CBN breaking out above the resistance at 25 pesos. Wow, I know what you're thinking. what you're thinking is as good as mine. That means to say that ABS-CBN needs to break out above two resistance levels, right? It has to break out above 21.95 before it breaks out above 25 pesos per share. I know that it has a lot of work to do. Besides, it's a lot closer to the immediate support than to the resistance. So the bias is actually on the bears than on the bull side, right? Just by observing how the price is positioned between the major resistance at 25 and the major support at 19.32, you would know that ABS needs to flex some muscles for it to break out above two resistance levels. And besides this bearish position of ABS, there's not much. I don't see much volume happening or being registered on ABS-CBN. If we compare what we saw between the third week of January all the way to the third week of February, that kind of daily volume that we witnessed during that period, we're not seeing that anymore. We're just seeing some topsy-turvy volume on a daily basis. So given this kind of picture being painted by the daily volume bars, or yeah, daily volume bars, there are only two things that are more likely to happen on the price of ABS-CBN. It's either it will continue to move sideways or it will continue its downtrend direction and retest the support at 19.30. Let's also see if ABS-CBN will respect the support near 20.30. This line that I plotted just now. If it breaks down below this 20.30, then it's some sort of a confirmation that it's really on its way to retesting the support at 19.30. So in a way, this 20.30 here is precursor, or a better term would be a defense for, if this defensive line here is broken, then it means to say that the gravitational pull of the bears is stronger than the upward pull coming from the bulls. Nonetheless, even though we don't have that, even though the price is still moving above the 20.30 midterm support, MACD has been already bearish since when? Since the last day of January 2019. That was the day when MACD crossed below the signal line. And since then, it has never registered any attempt or any single day that it crossed above the signal line once again. So it has been busy moving in a downtrend direction, increasing the gap below the signal line since January 31, 2019. That's another confirmation of the bearish trajectory of ABS-CBN. Although it has a low risk level due to its historical volatility score of 22%, I'm not going to recommend that you trade ABS-CBN right away. This is not the kind of stock that you would like to buy right now. The best thing that you should do right now is to continue monitoring the price and volume correlation, the correlation between the two. If you see that there's a demand to buy the stock up near 20.20 or 20.50 or 20.60, then I suggest you reevaluate the situation. If there's a demand coming from the volume to buy the stock at a higher price, then you may want to consider doing a test buy. If and only if you see an obvious sentiment to buy the stock at a higher price, then where will you see that? You can see that on the price volume distribution. Okay, depending on which broker you're using. Okay, or actually depending on where are you looking at actually on your broker's platform. Before I give you my overall sentiment on ABS-CBN and some trade setups or recommendations, let's take a look at the volume review of ABS as of recess. As of recess, it closed at 20.60. Do not wonder why there are no foreign transactions. Simply because ABS-CBN and GMA7 are not open to foreign investments. Okay? And that's the only explanation to that. Okay, how would you know which one is open to foreign investors? You can go to Edge. Or you can go to pse.com.ph. You can take a look at the profile of the stock. Okay, going back, the price at 20.65 got 63% of today's volume, seconded by 20.60 with 19% of today's volume. It's not really a voluminous day for ABS-CBN, but if I were to pick a range on as to which range you should be monitoring, that would be 20.60 to 20.65. Not really that much to monitor because those are just two price points, right? And today, just there were only 5 price points that were traded in the first half of trading. So it's really difficult to tell which specific range you should monitor for ABS-CBN. So instead of monitoring a specific range for now, I would suggest don't monitor a specific price range for now. Monitor the support level. Monitor how it draws closer to the support level. Two things. It's either you monitor it at 20.30. Once it breaks down, monitor it at 19.30. So my bias is really on the bear side on ABS-CBN. That's my overall sentiment. Bearish for ABS-CBN. Try to catch it between 20.30 to 19.30. So wait for the price to enter that zone. Okay? And that's my recommended plan of action, especially for those who don't have ABS-CBN yet. Now, for those who have ABS-CBN, there's no better suggestion than following your 3 words. Trailing blank loss. Trailing stop loss. Okay? There's no better advice than following your trailing stop loss, regardless actually whether you already have a position or you're just about to trade the name. So there you go for ABS-CBN. This is our 12th episode for the EquiTalks. And again, if you've missed the past few episodes of the EquiTalks program, I would like to invite you to visit our website at www.equilyst.com. And you spell that as EQUILYST.com. And then you click on Learn, the Learn menu. You click on either the EquiTalks video if you'd like to watch the video. You click on EquiTalks audio if you'd like to listen to the podcast. Or you click on the EquiTalks note if you prefer reading than watching or listening. So we have prepared 3 different media for the exact same episode. For each episode actually. You can watch, you can read, you can listen. Do not forget to follow us on our social media accounts so that you will be the first one to be notified every time we publish a new episode. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We are on LinkedIn as well. Of course, we are on Tumblr, we are on Pinterest, we are on Instagram. We are on SoundCloud. Can I just say we're everywhere? You will find all of those links to our social media accounts at the bottom of our website. It's actually the footer. Okay? And if you're watching this video on YouTube or if you're listening on SoundCloud, you will see all of our social media channels on the description of the podcast or video or whatever it is that you're watching or listening to right now. Okay? If you'd like to get more, because this is only a free stuff. And if you're happy with the free stuff alone, I'm sure you'll be happier when you try our services. Just again, it's on our website at www.equilyst.com. You click on the services menu, click on subscription, and you will see trade setups for short-term trading, investment guide for long-term investing, and stock market consultation. So when you subscribe to our services, you get 3, not just 1, not just 2, but 3. You will get access to our trade setups, you will get access to our investment guide for long-term investing, and you will have direct access in our private clients forum. That's the only place where I discuss in detail. That's where I accommodate our clients' follow-up questions. Well, of course, in this video, I may respond to your comments or inquiries from time to time, but not as detailed as my responses in our private clients forum. Alright, so lastly, before I forgot, you click on the seminars. Click on the seminars because on March 4, it's on our website as well. It's beside the services menu. Click on seminars and then take a look at the seminar on May 4, 2019. That's Saturday. I'll be meeting a maximum of 30 people in Makati to discuss my evergreen strategy to profit in the stock market. Okay, it's the detailed version of the complete version of my evergreen strategy to profit in the stock market in Makati. Maximum of 30 people. I deliberately told my team to limit this session into 30 packs only. This is for me to address everyone's questions because I don't want to step out of the room leaving some questions unanswered. I also would like to have a few minutes talking to or discussing with the attendees one-on-one. That's why I would like to limit it to 30 people. So first come, first serve, fastest fingers first. Buy your tickets now. Click on this one so that you will see the details of what you will learn, the learning fee, and there's a discounted price for the existing subscribers of Equilyst Analytics. You will see the inclusions, the payment methods, and do not forget to fill out the form as well after paying for your ticket. Okay, that's on May 4, 2019, Saturday, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Bacolod Chicken Inasal, 140 Jupiter Street, corner Orbit Street, Bel Air, Makati City. Alright, if you have questions, you may also email my team at seminars@equilyst.com. Alright, so that's it for the 12th episode of the EquiTalks program, and you've just heard about my analysis, overall sentiment, recommended plans of actions, or trade setups for ABS-CBN Corporation. I do hope I was able to help you trade independently and invest profitably. I'm your host, JC De Guzman. Have a great day.
EquiTalks is presented by Equilyst Analytics Incorporated. Check out our website at www.equilyst.com. Would you like to know if you should buy, hold, or sell a stock? JC De Guzman, founder, CEO, and Chief Technical Analyst of Equilyst Analytics, will share with you his technical analysis, overall sentiment, and trade setup for one stock every day. Would you like to be an independent trader and a profitable investor? You'll learn how to be one right here on the EquiTalks.